Hi there, my name is Benet, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I'm gonna, this is a bit of a strange Sunday morning for me, but I'm recording this video because I'm gonna say something that really quite amazes me. Not for the reasons that you might think, but something I thought I would never ever say. And that is, I am so ashamed of white people. I am just ashamed of white people. So why do I think I would never say this? Certainly not because I think some of the skin color it instantly portrays you a higher level of virtue. No. I think, people can be great, people can be shitty, no matter where or what they are. No, I am ashamed of white people because they've looked at the hurt, the anger, the civil unrest, the protesting, the riots, and the looting. They looked at all these things. These are, of course, the white liberals that I'm talking about. Looked at all these things and said, how can I make this all about me? This has to be about me! And it's just really, really gross, and I really, really don't like it. So that's what this video is all about. How this is just spiraling into something bigger and bigger and bigger. But before we go into the video, can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? That would be fantastic. And if you're already subscribed, can you make sure you're still subscribed? YouTube does kind of like to unsubscribe people every now and again. So can you do that? Can you like the video? Could you even share the video? That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. I am genuinely very, very grateful. Go and look in the video notes. Just for showing up, just for watching this video, there's a Judge Dredd audio story that you can download called Dread or Alive, I think. It was produced by a company called Big Finish, but it's out of print. You cannot get it anymore. It's out. Like, you can't even buy a digital version, so I put it here for you guys to download and enjoy. I would suggest, if you do download it, and if you do enjoy it, and if Big Finish, the company who made it, gets the license back and starts selling them again legally, go and buy yourself a digital copy. So you haven't stolen it, but guys, they're not getting the license back. I don't think they got any interest whatsoever in getting the license back. I don't think they sold up. So I hope you guys enjoy. Also, if you subscribe, you are eligible to any of my weekly competitions, and they are freaking awesome. The prizes. I just found a whole batch of new things that I'm going to start giving away as prizes. But this week's prize, which goes out tonight, on June 14th, is Judge Dredd MECHANISMO, a fantastic hardback. Classic Judge Dredd story. If you have never read Judge Dredd before, it's really, really worth it. Anyway, I found a whole bunch of graphic novels which I have like duplicates of. So that's gonna. I have graphic novels, I have movies, I have DVD and Blu-rays, DVDs. So all those things are gonna be prizes in coming months. But yeah, this one's a particularly good one. All you need to do to win it: subscribe to the channel, and then in the comments leave the hashtag I am the law, because Judge Dredd is indeed the law. So. Yeah, I'm a bit miffed with white liberals right now. Yeah, as I said, you see this the civil unrest, the anger, and I think quite reasonable anger that the black community has in America. And I didn't actually think that. So, I sort of thought that, but I didn't really understand that until I watched the Dave Chappelle special that he dropped on Friday. It'll be the 12th. If you haven't seen it, it's really worth it. And again, I don't think he excuses the violence, the looting. But more he describes a cycle of violence that they are in, and I don't think he's pointing the blame at any one person. He's just saying, "What the hell do you think was going to happen? What the hell do you think was going to?" And you know what? I kind of hear it. I do kind of hear it. I kind of, again, not on board with the looting, but I do see why it's happening. I do see it being somewhat unavoidable at this point. I don't know what on earth is going to be needed to stop the violence. I really don't know, but I do hope that I really genuinely hope that people will see their basic similarities, which I think so far outweigh their differences, and they don't buy into this disingenuous bullcrap from the news media that the Western world is a place that does hate you if your skin is black. I hope they don't. I hope people don't buy into that nonsense, because I don't know anybody like that. I don't think anybody watching this knows anybody like that. It's akin to being told that like one-legged banjo players are facing incredible amounts of abuse in the world, just an incredible amount of abuse in the world, and they must be elevated and so on, and then a whole bunch of people, crazy people, then they just believe that hook, line, and sinker, even though they've never seen Anybody who would abuse somebody who's a one-legged banjo player simply because they're a one-legged banjo player. That is that kind of detachment from reality that isn't good. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not good. It's not good at all. So I'm sure you saw just the vile celebrity apology video that came out a few days ago. I'm sorry. I take accountability. It makes me sick even thinking it. And quite frankly, celebrity is a bit of a misnomer. I recognise two people. I recognise Aaron Paul and Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell because I like I like The Good Place. Also, she's kind of hot, so she sticks in my mind. Sticks in my mind. And Aaron Paul because Breaking Bad was freaking awesome. But even though you're in TV shows I like, even though you're kind of hot, even though you've entertained me quite a lot over the years, even though all these things that happen, I don't care. I don't care about your ridiculous white guilt, and I think it's vile, utterly vile, that you're using other people's suffering, other people's anger, other people's outrage, which again, very justifiable anger and outrage. I really think very justifiable anger and outrage. And you're using all that to make yourself feel good about yourself. That's all it was. You're being like, I'm so virtuous. I'm such a good person. It actually hurts. And like, again, celebrities, I didn't even recognize most of you, for God's sake. So yeah, there was that. But then there's this phenomenon of whitewashing, for want of a better word. maybe that's not the best word, but whitewashing our cultural history, which is just, oh my God, it's so unbelievably stupid and counterproductive. So if you are one of the idiot children out there who thinks there needs to be a trigger warning on the talents of Wen Chiang, a mid-1970s Doctor Who episode which featured a Chinese antagonist who wasn't played by somebody from China. If you're somebody who needs a spoiler warning, a trigger warning about that, if you're somebody who finds 40 Tales, in episode 40 Tales from the mid-70s, intolerable, and it cannot exist in the same universe that you existed. If you're one of those people, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to explain to you exactly what this is like. Again, I grew up in the 80s where we were taught that judging people by their skin color was bad, was wrong, was intrinsically wrong. This is why I'm so aghast that I'm like saying, I'm embarrassed of white people. I'm grouping people by their skin color. I never thought I would be doing it. Never in a million years. And of course, this isn't all white people. This is just the stupid idiot liberals who think everything is about them. But still, I'm still grouping people by color. Which is something I just hate doing. I absolutely just hate doing it. So this is what it'll be like. Imagine that somehow you survive this terrible world that you idiots are creating. Somehow you survive, and you I'm not going to say you marry, because that takes a bit of commitment. I don't think any of you have got that within you at all. Let's say you get together and you have a child, right? You have a child, and then 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the child, that entire generation turns around and goes, the colour green is bigoted! Anybody using or wearing the colour green is exactly the same as those National Socialists from Germany in the 1930s, those Yazidis, they are exactly, and you look at them and you go, what, I understand you're upset, but what's going, shut up, don't even think about green, okay, and then they're going to tell you, any use of the colour green in history must be erased. Like, guys, it's that freaking stupid, right? It's that freaking stupid, and so now we're getting onto this this erasure of our culture. And I want to point out something, where there is no end. There is no end to this. I'm Jewish, right? You may have heard of Shakespeare. He was a reasonably popular blogger. Back back in the annals of time, he wrote one or two short stories and a couple of plays. One of them was called The Merchant of Venice, which has a deeply anti-Semitic representation of Jews in it. That was very normative of the time. Shylock, are we to erase real moments of culture? Well, I guess we would be. Yeah, we would be if it wasn't Jews, because Jews always have a different, a different scale, a different scale of the way you deal with things. All these people who are screaming about how much they hate racism and they can't bear racism. a few months ago, and in America right now, they're all waving their flags for their little anti-Semitic, racist Democrats, which has got the Democratic Party, much like the Labour Party in England over the last years, is going headlong into anti-Semitism. Headlong, again, just like the Labour Party, and just like the supporters of the Labour Party, they too will be anti-Semitic, and they all say, your experience of racism doesn't exist. You are either stupid, and you are sold a pack of lies, and you as an entire community are all morons and have been duped, or you are all just making it up. You're just making it up. Why is there this incredible double standard for Jews? Why? Why? I don't know. I think it's because you might all be a bit racist. So I just think your screams about how much you hate racism is a little bit disingenuous, seeing as half of you were happily waving flags for Jeremy Corbyn or AOC or Ilhan Omar or any other wonderful anti-Semites that have gone from the fringes of the left stream politics where they should have been, and you have brought them into the mainstream. You specifically. So I think you're full of crap when you talk about how much you hate racism. So we have we have this cultural vandalism of our past being our culture being erased, and John Cleese, who also isn't a racist, actually got up and said something. So he talked about the BBC removing the episode of 40 Tales, which he wrote and starred in, because they don't want to offend people, and I can't disagree with the word he says. So let's see how the BBC reported it. Spoiler alert, they're not going to be overly honest, okay? Not overly honest. 40 Towers, John Cleese attacks cowardly BBC over episode's removal. Yes, we think you are cowards. John Cleese has laid into the cowardly and gutless BBC. So listen, why are you putting those in quotes? You are cowardly, you are gutless, you have bent the knee, you have succumbed to the whims of a teeny tiny minority, and you program exclusively for them. You exclusively for those blue checkmark Twitterati, because you, like the rest of the idiots, think Twitter is real, which it isn't. And then you go, well, yeah, TV audiences have changed. They don't watch TV so much anymore. Yeah, it's just the way it is. No, the reason they don't watch TV so much anymore because you make relentless shit. You make relentless shit because you are coward and you are gutless. So don't put it in quotes, because you are. Just own it. BBC, after an episode 40 Tales was temporarily removed from the BBC-owned streaming platform. If the length of time it's removed for is irrelevant. It's removed for 1 day, it is too much. It's removed for 1 hour, it's too much. Removed for 1 second, it is too much. It is kowtowing to insanity. Utterly insanity. It is, I would say, being gutless and cowardly. That's how I would characterize it. Fortunately, John Cleese got there before me. Okay, a 1975 episode titled "The Germans," freaking awesome episode, was taken off UK TV streaming service because it contains racial slurs. Oh no! So again, what's that going to do? Again, this isn't about helping black people at all. This isn't about ending this cycle of poverty and violence and crime and death that the black community, a lot of the black community are, I would say, trapped. It's not about. It's all about making you feel better about yourself because you feel guilty because you're an idiot liberal. If you've never ever harbored any hatred in your heart over towards somebody because of their skin color, you've got nothing to be ashamed of. You've got nothing to apologize for. You've got nothing to feel guilty about. That other people are upset doesn't mean that you have to feel bad. Fine, racial. In it, the Major uses a highly offensive language, and Cleve's Battle 40 declares, "Don't mention the war." Yeah, what's wrong with that? Don't mention the bloody. Yeah, okay, fine. They use the N-word. If you're insane snowflakes and you can't hear that used, then bleep it out. If that's really how weak and pitiful you are, which is, of course, how weak and pitiful you are, then that's just the way it is. But no, you just got to remove the whole thing. So Cleese wrote on Twitter, just truth after truth after truth. UK TV said they expect to reinstate the show with extra guidance in coming days. What, they need to put a trigger warning? No, you need to raise your children to be able to cope with things they don't like. Oh, God, it's that great. Really? Why did nobody ever tell you this 20 years ago? You remember when we kept telling you about those participation trophies, how it was a bad idea? You know how you made it verboten to say good boy or good girl in schools? You had to say, good job. Yeah, do you remember that? And we all said, you are all freaking idiots and morons, and this is not going to end well. You are all freaking idiots and morons, and it's not ending well, is it? Cleese wrote on Twitter, the BBC are now run by a mixture of marketing people and petty bureaucrats. Yeah. He added, I would have hoped someone at the BBC would understand there are two ways of making fun of human behaviour. No, because they're all idiots and they can't and they're scared. One is to attack it directly. The other is to have someone who is patently a figure of fun speak up on behalf of that behaviour. Thank you. Think of I think it's supposed to be. It says thank of Afghan. I think of Afghan, which is a fantastic example. He went on to compare the situation with that of Afghani. Okay, the racist character in sitcoms Till Death Do Us Part in Sickness and Health. We laughed at Al's reactionary views. We did. He made fun of racism. And this is what I grew up with. He made fun of racism because it was an absurdity. It's an absurd, and we were saying these racist views, and he kept being absurd, and that is how an entire generation learned how to look at skin colour and differences of skin colour as an absurdity, because of things like this. Now, don't tell me you don't understand, because the entertainment industry has desperately been trying to social engineer for the last 5 years, terribly, to get us to believe whatever liberal crap they had in their brains. In that, I use the brains in the loosest way possible. In their brains at that particular moment. Of course, there are people, very stupid people, who now work for the BBC, who said, "Thank goodness, thank goodness somebody is saying these things at last." We laughed at those people too. Yes. Oh, it's called cultural context. Now they're taking decisions about BBC comedy. People who have no idea of comedy are making decisions about comedy. He continued, it's not just stupidity. The BBC is now run by a mixture of marketing people and bureaucrats. It used to have a large sprinkling of people who actually made programs. Not anymore. Yeah, I get the feeling that Chris Chibnall, who runs Doctor Who, his side job is making the show. His main job is being some kind of woke ambassador, bringing woke culture to people who have no interest in it and no need for it. Because, if you don't work in entertainment, if you're not one of the vile denizens of Hollywood, you're probably not as a shitty person as they are, and you don't need to virtue signal and make up for it as much. So the BBC's decisions are made by persons whose main concern is not losing their jobs. 100%. So that's why they're so cowardly and gutless and contemptible. I rest my case. So you know what? He doesn't completely rest his case. He then posts a video from I think 30 years ago, which I'm going to play at the end of this, which will be in a moment, which is just so tiny. I forgive the video quality; it is very, very low. But the message he gives is so incredibly accurate. And spot on, so okay and right. So yeah, listen, I'm really hoping we're going to be coming out of this insanity somewhat soon. Somewhat soon. I don't know. I don't know where this will ultimately go. But I hope we end up again just seeing that we're all basically on the same page. Nobody wants police brutality. Nobody wants people to be killed pointlessly. Nobody wants there to be an entire community of people specifically kept in poverty. Nobody wants that. Yeah, I mean, other than, I would say, the Democrats. Yeah, the Democrats, they want it because it's expedient to them. But other than that, I don't think anybody else wants it. So there you go. My name is Beck and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to hand over to the great and somewhat fuzzy, because the video quality is very bad, John Cleese. Have yourself a fantastic day.
Seriously, though, we've heard a lot about extremism recently, a nastier, harsher atmosphere everywhere, more abuse and bother boy behaviour, less friendliness and tolerance and respect for opponents. All right, but what we never hear about extremism is its advantages. Well, the biggest advantage of extremism is that it makes you feel good, because it provides you with enemies. Let me explain. The great thing about having enemies is that you can pretend that all the badness in the whole world is in your enemies and all the goodness in the whole world is in you. Attractive, isn't it? So, if you have a lot of anger and resentment in you anyway, and you therefore enjoy abusing people, then you can pretend that you're only doing it because these enemies of yours are such very bad persons. And that if it wasn't for them, you'd actually be good-natured and courteous and rational all the time. So, if you want to feel good, become an extremist. Okay, now you have a choice. If you join the hard left, they'll give you their list of authorized enemies. Almost all kinds of authority, especially the police, the city, Americans, judges, multinational corporations, public schools, furriers, newspaper owners, fox hunters, generals, class traitors, and, of course, moderates. Or, if you'd rather be an extremist on the hard right, no problem, fine, you still get a lovely list of enemies, only they're different ones. Noisy minority groups, unions, Russia, weirdos, demonstrators, welfare sponges, meddlesome clergy, peaceniks, the BBC, strikers, social workers, communists, and, of course, moderates. And upstart actors. Now, once you're armed with one of these super lists of enemies, you can be as nasty as you like and yet feel your behaviors morally justified. So you can strut around abusing people and telling them you could eat them for breakfast and still think of yourself as a champion of the truth, a fighter for the greater good, and not the rather sad paranoid schizoid that you really are.